Welcome everyone to this virtual meeting of North Tyneside Council Cabinet. My name is Norma Redfern and I'm the elected Mayor of North Tyneside and I'll be chairing this meeting. I would like to inform everyone that this meeting is being live streamed on the Council YouTube channel to enable the public to observe the proceedings, and I would like to welcome anyone who's watching. Before we move on to the agenda, I'd like to make it clear who is participating in the meeting. In order to check who's in the meeting, I would like to ask everyone present to confirm their attendance. First of all, I will call out the names of each cabinet member. After I call your name, please turn on your microphone and camera and introduce yourself. And of course, state your portfolio area. Councillor Bruce Pickard.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm Councillor Bruce Pickard, a councillor for Riverside Ward and also the Deputy Mayor. My main responsibilities are for regeneration, planning policy, business and economic development.
Councillor Gary Bell.
Good evening, everybody. Madam Mayor, Cabinet Member for Adult Social Care.
Thank you. Councillor Carol Burtis.
Thank you, Mayor. Councillor Carol Burtis, Cabinet Member for Community Engagement, Safer Communities in the Community and Voluntary Sector.
Thank you. Councillor Steve Cox.
Good evening, Madam Mayor. Good evening, everybody. My name is Councillor Steve Cox. I'm the Council Cabinet Member for Housing.
Councillor Sarah Day.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Sarah Day. I'm the Cabinet Member for Culture, Leisure and Sport.
Thank you. Councillor Peter Early.
Hello everybody, I'm Peter Early. I'm the Cabinet Member for Children, Young People and Learning.
Councillor Ray Glindon.
Good evening everyone, my name is Councillor Ray Glindon. I'm a Cabinet Member for Finance. A pleasure to be here tonight.
Thank you. Councillor Margaret Hall.
Good evening, I'm Margaret Hall, Cabinet Member for Public Health and Wellbeing.
And Councillor Carl Johnson.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Councillor Carl Johnson. I am the Cabinet Member for Environment and Transport.
Thank you so much. Can I now ask the officers in attendance to introduce themselves? After I call your name, please turn on your microphone and camera and introduce yourself. Paul Hanson.
Good evening, Mayor, Cabinet and everyone. My name is Paul Hanson. I'm Chief Executive of North Tyneside Council.
Thank you. Wendy Burke.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Wendy Burke and I'm Director of Public Health.
Bryn Roberts.
Good evening, Mayor. I'm Bryn Roberts. I'm the Head of Law and Governance and I'm the Monitoring Officer.
Thank you. Janice Gillespie.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, everybody. I'm Janice Gillespie. I'm Head of Resources and Chief Finance Officer for the Authority.
Thank you. Mark Longstaff.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Mark Longstaff, Head of Commissioning and Asset Management within the Council.
Thank you. Jackie Old.
Evening all. My name is Jackie Old and I'm Director for Children and Adults.
Thank you. Phil Scott.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Phil Scott. I'm the Head of Environment, Housing and Leisure. Thank you.
Thank you. John Sparks.
Good evening, everyone. I'm John Sparks and I'm Head of Regeneration and Economic Development.
And Dave Brown.
Hello, everybody. My name is Dave Brown from Law and Governance.
Thank you to the officers. Thank you so much. Can I now ask the young Mayor and our partners who are in attendance to introduce themselves? And after I call your name, please turn on your microphone and camera and introduce yourself. Susie McKenzie.
Hello, I'm Susie McKenzie and I'm the young Mayor for North Tyneside.
Thank you. Robin Fry.
Good evening, Robin Fry, Chief Exec of Voda, here to represent the voluntary and community sector.
David Hodgson.
Good evening, everyone. David Hodgson, representing North Tyneside Business Forum.
Thank you. Roger Layton.
Hello, I'm Roger Layton and I'm the Joint Trade Union Secretary for North Tyneside.
Thank you. And Dawn McNally.
Good evening, everybody. Dawn McNally, Chief Executive of Age UK North Tyneside, representing older people.
Thank you so much. Now, is there anyone else present who I've missed? Yes, Jacqueline Lawton. I do apologise, Jackie. Do come in.
It's all right. Hi, evening everybody. It's Jackie Lawton and I am Head of Corporate Strategy and Customer Service. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jackie. In terms of etiquette for the meeting, can I please remind everyone to mute their microphone and turn off their video unless they are speaking. For today's meeting, we must first of all deal with some formalities. First of all, apologies for absence. And I've received apologies from Janice Hutton from Northumbria Police. Are there any other apologies?
I haven't received any other apologies, Madam Mayor.
Thank you very much. That's grand. Item 2, declarations of interest. Do any members wish to declare an interest in any items of business on this agenda? No, thank you very much. Item 3, it's the minutes. Can I ask that the minutes of the last meeting held on the 30th of November 2020, which have previously been circulated, be approved as a correct record?
Yes.
Agreed.
Thank you. Item 4, our Young Mayor's update. I would now like to ask our Young Mayor, Susie McKenzie, to give us an update on her activities. Thank you, Susie.
Hello everyone, I hope that you're all keeping well and having a happy new year so far. Before I go into telling you what I've been up to since last meeting, I thought it was important to update you all on our elections. Both Member of UK Youth Parliament and Young Mayor roles would usually be open for election around this time, running until March when we would have results from votes in schools. However, due to the pandemic, Abby and I missed our first 6 months of our usual activities, and although there are many alternatives to offer, it wasn't the same. I'm pleased to say that both British Youth Council and North Tyneside Council have offered us an extension to our term on our respective roles to make sure that we got the most out of this experience. Abby and I were invited to continue until 2022, and I'm pleased to tell you that after both giving this a lot of thought and considering all our other activities, including school, we've agreed to continue. This will give us ample time to really make a difference with our pledges. On behalf of Abby and I would like to thank you both all for this opportunity. So on to what we've been up to. We've already begun our new committees and they are going very well. The chairs are now in place and are very focused on achieving the aims of the committees. We're excited about this new way of working because the committees will be collaborating with adult decision makers, the elected cabinet member and the lead officer responsible for that topic. I look forward to the increased interaction between ourselves and you. We are in the process of contacting the adults to arrange meetings, and we will be sending out to everyone the details of all the committees so that everyone knows what we're working on. In December, I took part in making a short video which was included in the council's advent calendar. I thought this was a lovely idea to share with the people of the borough. In the video, I sent my best wishes to everyone and hope for a healthy Christmas, asking everyone to stay safe. Earlier this month, many youth councillors and some young people from the Send Youth Forum took part in this year's council budget consultation. It was very engaging and young people contributed well with some good ideas of how the council can make resources go that bit further. It was suggested that those people who had received a new laptop or other electronic devices for Christmas could share the unwanted laptop with those who haven't got them. Some youth councillors had said that they would like to pass their old laptops on if it was still in good condition, and this could be organised with the school. It was also suggested that apart from the need of food and clothing for some students, they also required pens, pencils and other stationery, and that there could be a collection of donations organised for those in need. Nick Bryan also joined the part of the Environment Committee meeting to ask for our support with a new campaign. It's an anti-idling campaign to advise car drivers to think about switching off their car engines while waiting to pick people up. This had been a particularly serious problem outside of the borough's schools. An anti-idling campaign will begin soon, and our youth councils are very supportive of the campaign for cleaner air. Some have even suggested ideas for slogans. We look forward to helping the council roll out this message. Some of us joined Newcastle University students and the council officers to talk about plans for the new improved North Shields gateways. The students had come up with some very good proposals that were all part, and we were part of the consultation. We were always keen to have our say in these decisions that will be improving the environment for our future, and we look forward to seeing the final plans. I was disappointed that COVID had prevented me from taking part in person at one of the most moving events in the Young Mayor's calendar, the Holocaust Memorial Day. I was, however, still able to contribute by making a video about this year's theme of being the light in the darkness. Like many of you, I am looking forward to being able to attend next year's event in person. I've been very busy meeting virtually with the International Youth Mayors Association, and the bit that I've been working on, the website, is also complete, almost complete. It was great to see our own youth councillor, Daniel McTiernan, took a highly commended place in the competition to design a logo for the association. We are now looking to plan a virtual international young people's conference to be held in the very near future. The Young Mayors Association is also looking at free school meals and how each council is handling it. And as you will know, this is of great concern to many people, and I am pleased to say that our schools had both a local and national option to support their families. I'm happy I've started the Healthy Habits Ambassador programme. This is coordinated by the YMCA. It's for students in schools and consists of the importance of regularly engaging in healthy habits, such as eating well, regular exercise, staying connected to others, and regular sleep. These habits will all help with people's well-being and mental health. However, because of the pandemic and homeschooling, we are now looking at how the project can be delivered differently. Other ambassadors and I are looking at overcoming the barrier of in-person contact by creating short videos which can be shared with students. Thank you.
Thank you, Susie. It's always really a pleasant and nice time to listen to your reports, to be quite honest. It's very reassuring to see that you're still hard at it, and despite these difficult times, you're still managing to do some amazing things. And I think it's only fair, actually, that because you came into your office in such a difficult time, to be quite honest, that you're going to get that little bit extra to stay with us. And that will enable you, as you say, to get on with what's important to you and try to make a difference here in North Tyneside. I'll look forward to what has come out of the new improved North Shields gateways and what happened there, and see where we're going with that, because that's on the agenda now. And I really want to say to you, I too am disappointed, and as are many of my colleagues, that we can't take part in person in the Holocaust Memorial Day. But you will know that tonight the light out will be lit up to commemorate those people there who lost their lives in such dreadful circumstances. And the video will be shown, I think, on Friday, right across the borough to everyone and everybody's invited to come and watch. And it's amazing, isn't it? With the help of technology, we've managed to do that. We've got people there, we've got our schools still involved, and they're still offering their sort of concerns about what happens in the Holocaust and helping us to remember. It is important to remember. So thank you. I think we all feel cheated in a way that we're not going to be able to celebrate, commemorate that day. So once again, thank you for all you're doing. And I think we too are quite excited about the new way you're going to work with your committees. And I know my cabinet is really delighted and pleased to work with you and share your ideas. So thank you so much indeed. Thank you, Susie. Well done, well done. Does anyone want to make a comment or say anything? Yes, Peter. Councillor Early, thank you very much.
I just wanted to commend Susie and other members of the Youth Council for their work in contributing to the budget consultation. I think it's really exciting that young people are engaging in that process. After all, our budgets are about protecting our residents' future, but also the futures of young people and providing the services that they need going forward. And on the committee front, the committee I'll be sitting on is the Enterprise and Education Committee, and I think that meets for the first time next Monday. And that's about how we can develop financial awareness for young people and improve their and skill them up in terms of financial management. So I think those two things go quite well together.
Thank you, Councillor Early. And I just want to say that I think we're all extremely proud of our young people here in North Tyneside. And I know their work and the things they do and the things they're involved with are actually carried right across the region. They're well regarded for the work they do. Thank you so much indeed. And I hope you pass on our congratulations to your members, Susie, for all the work they're doing in their achievements. Thank you very much, Susie. The next part of the agenda are the reports, and they're items 5 to 10. And this part of the agenda contains 6 reports, and they requires decisions at this meeting. So I'm going to take each of the reports in turn in the order they appear on the agenda, which has been published on the Council website. For each of the reports, I will ask the relevant Cabinet member to introduce this item. I will then ask members if they have any questions, and will then ask if members wish to make a comment on the report. And then I'll ask members to approve the recommendations contained in this report. So now we're on to item 5, which is financial management report. And I think that goes to Councillor Ray Glindon. Over you, Councillor Glindon.
Thank you, Mayor. It's my pleasure to present to Cabinet the 4th Budget Monitoring Report for the current financial year, which reflects the forecast financial position as at the 30th of November 2020. This report focuses on the first 8 months of the financial year and builds in known pressures and mitigating actions to give an estimate of our financial position at the end of March 2021. The report has been prepared on a prudent basis, and it's crucial that Cabinet acknowledge the financial pressures we are being faced. Like all local authorities, North Tyneside Council has felt the impact of the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. And this report contains considerations to the financial impact of the pandemic, which we have on this authority. The authority continues to consider financial impacts of the pandemic and updating its financial modelling accordingly with the latest government guidance. We expect the forecast position to change as we approach the year end, as the authority see the COVID impacts continue to change. Current indications are that the COVID-19 funding received to date from central government does not cover all anticipated costs and lost income. We'll take the general fund first, Mayor. It's forecasted without further actions as a pressure of 1.510 million against the budget, which is an improvement of 5.142 at September. The authorities continue to take a prudent approach to forecasting, including in relation to identifying the impact of COVID-19, which is currently forecast to add a total pressure of 27.072 million to the General Fund in 2020-2021. To date, we have received 25.689 million of grant funding, which is applied to fund these pressures. Further details of these grants are set out in annex to the annex of this report. After allocation of grants, there is a gap of COVID pressure of 1.383 million remaining. The pressure of normal business activity has fallen by 127,000, which is an improvement from the September position of 883,000. In terms of schools, the total expected deficit of 2020-21 is 6.681 million. Cabinet will be aware that the authority has been working with schools for a number of years with regard to long-term strategic issues of surplus secondary places and the associated financial pressures which continue to be compounded by rising unemployment costs. As well as school balances reducing overall, some individual schools continue to face significant financial challenges. There are 14 schools reporting deficits at monitoring one of the September 2020, with 7 of these schools continue to be in deficit following the 2019-20 and 7 schools that are now in deficit 2020-21. We continue to see a high demand for special school places impacting on the high needs block. Cabinet will recall the high needs block ended in 2019-20 with an overspend of £4.542 million. Current forecasting of the budget position in 2020-21 indicates an anticipated further year pressure of £3.625 million, reflecting a further rise in demand for special school places. Moving on to the HRA, I'm happy to report there are no major issues in respect of the HRA with regards to its normal activity. Although the service is currently forecasting an in-year pressure of £259,000, the service continues to monitor the impact of welfare reform on rent collection. The service also identified a potential £1.524 million of COVID-19 related costs. Taking the investment plan next, details are included in the annex of the report to be delivered this year, and officers have carried out a detailed review of the plan, resulting in a proposed level of reprogramming of £3 million and variations of just over £6.2 million. Cabinet are advised to approve the recommendations in this report, and they are set out in section 1.2 of the Cabinet report. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Glendon. Has anyone got any questions? Any comments about that then? Well, I would just like to say, Councillor Glendon, thank you for that. But it's important that we realise that, yes, we receive money for the government to help us through these difficult times. But it's even more important to realise that it didn't cover all our costs, and it certainly didn't cover our loss of income. And we are certainly not through these difficult times. The pandemic has not finished. We don't know yet what tomorrow or the next month brings. So it is important that we have money in reserves to cover those dangerous times. So thank you. And I do want to reiterate that we here in the council, as far as I'm concerned, and our officers are well aware of these difficult times, and it's important to keep this authority healthy all the time and be prepared for any difficulties that come our way. So thank you so much indeed, Councillor. Much appreciated.
Thank you, Mayor.
The next item is item 6. Calculation of our council tax base, and that's over to you, Councillor Glendon, again. Thank you.
I'm just looking for the report there.
As long as you're still with us, I thought you might have dropped out. Thank you very much.
You can get rid of us that quick. Well, actually, well, I do have it. Sorry. I'm pleased to present the Cabinet the proposed council tax base for 2021 to 2022. The tax base is a statutory calculation that is used in 2021-2022 budget and council tax calculation. It is used as a basis for our major precepting authorities, the Police and Crime Commissioner for Northumbria and Tyne and Wear Fire and Rescue Authority, and the Mayor of the North of Tyne Combined Authority. As Cabinet will be aware, the Council Tax Support Scheme forms part of the tax base calculation. There are no changes proposed for 21-22 Council Tax Support Scheme. The other factor which Cabinet can determine is the assumed long-term collection rate for council tax, which has been set at 98.5% since 2013-2014. In-year collection rates have remained reasonably consistent from 2013 to 2019. However, 2020 has been an extremely challenging year. We've seen a financial impact of COVID-19 on some of our residents and businesses. as the in-year collection rate of council tax is currently 0.6% behind where we were in 1920, despite hardship fund being allocated to our working age council tax support claimants, it is recommended that we reduce our anticipated long-term collection rate of 21-22 to 98%. This is a reduction of 0.5% from current levels. It's prudent to take this approach until we know the longer-term impact on council tax collection. Is set too high, the collection rate may lead to a deficit in the collection fund accounts. I therefore ask Cabinet to agree the long-term collection rate calculation are set out at 98% and approve this report and the calculation of the tax base of 60,941 Band-A equivalent properties. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Glendon. Has anybody got any questions for Councillor Glendon? Any comments? Well, then can I ask members to improve the recommendations contained in the report?
Agreed.
Thank you very much. We're now item 7, which is North Tyneside Tenancy Strategy 2021 to 2025, the consultation exercise. And I think that's you, Councillor Cox.
Yes, it is, Madam Mayor. Thank you, Madam Mayor. The purpose of this report is to seek approval from Cabinet to undertake a consultation exercise on North Tyneside's draft tenancy strategy 2021 to 2025. As set out in the Localism Act of 2011, all local housing authorities in England have a duty to publish their tenancy strategy that sets out the expectations that registered housing providers of social housing must be aware of when framing their own tenancy policies as set out in section 1.5.1 of this report. Oddly, as part of the consultation, it is not required under the Act that we consult with the residents of the borough. However, I'm suggesting that we include our residents as part of this consultation, given that there will be a large proportion of our residents who are council tenants, and there will be some aspiring to become council tenants of North Tyneside. I think it is only right that their views should be welcomed as part of this consultation. The current strategy covers the period 2013 to 2018. Therefore, an updated strategy is required that we include any legislation policy changes as set out in section 1.4 of the report. The response received back from the consultation will be reviewed and any recommendations considered in a further Cabinet report will be brought forward for decision on the strategy for 2021-25. I therefore ask Cabinet to approve option 1 as recommended, set out in section 1.7 of the report. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Cox. Have we got any questions for Councillor Cox? Any comments? Yes, Councillor Glendon.
Yes, Mayor, I'm very happy that they're going to include tenants within this. As Councillor Cox says, it is, it's tenants that are there now and also future tenants, and I think they should have some say in it.
Yeah. Well, I certainly would agree with you, because I think it's important to realise that, we're working on behalf of our tenants, and at the end of the day, their views are very important to us, to be quite honest, and I wouldn't have it any other way. So can we agree that report then, the recommendations? Thank you very much. Thank you. That was a long time coming. Thank you.
Yes.
We're now on to item 8, supporting the ambition for North Tyneside through housing growth. And I believe that is you again, Councillor Cox.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'm delighted to have the opportunity to present this report, as it shows up the ambitions we have for North Tyneside. At its meeting of 14th of October in 2013, Cabinet confirmed its commitment to deliver 3,000 affordable homes by 2024. The programme has been a significant success to date, and by the end of 2021, we will have delivered over 1,560 new affordable homes, including 550 new council homes. Delivering in the first 6 years of the programme has doubled the number of affordable homes delivered in the previous 10 years of affordable homes programme, commencing and including new council homes, specialist accommodation and returning empty properties back to affordable homes. This report provides Cabinet with an overview of the progress in the last 18 months and outlines the challenges that we face due to the ongoing impacts of the global pandemic, the volatile nature of the housing market and responding to the climate change emergency declared by North Tyneside Council. In response to these challenges, this report outlines a new and ambitious 10-year affordable homes delivery programme that will see the authority, through the housing revenue account, directly deliver around 350 new affordable homes by bringing forward 11 sites within the borough and continuing to bring back long-term empty properties. The report provides detail of these sites and seeks approval in principle for them to be developed by the authority. The report also seeks to align the affordable homes programme to the local plan and recommends that Cabinet approve the increase of the delivery target from 3,000 affordable homes to 4,000 affordable homes by 2032. In summary, this report identifies the significant progress made to date through the Affordable Homes programme and presents a new, ambitious delivery plan that will see 350 much-needed affordable homes directly delivered by the authority by 2030. Cabinet are therefore requested to approve the recommendations as set out in section 1.2 of this report. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Cox. Have we got any questions for Councillor Cox? Any comments? Well, I'd just like to say, Councillor Cox, not only am I pleased, but many of the residents are pleased to see some of the empty properties that have stood empty for a long, long time and are eyesores in their environment turned back into decent housing for much needed people in our borough. So thank you very much indeed. And I know I was out on Friday, I think, talking to some residents, and they were saying that they were so pleased that some of the houses in Charlotte Street that had been eyesores and just left in ill repair, been taken over the council and been brought back to some decency for people in the borough. And I think the residents in that street were delighted to be quite this was happening. So thank you very much. And that's not the only one, because there are a number of properties right across the borough that we've taken back into council use and brought them back up to decent standards. Much appreciated. Thank you very much indeed. Okay then. Can we approve the recommendations in that report, please?
Agreed. Agreed.
Thank you very much. We now go on to item 9, ambition for education, after Councillor Early.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'm delighted to present to you our ambition for education in North Tyneside 2020 to 2024 strategy, which sets out the vision and priorities for ensuring that all children and young people in North Tyneside have access to a high-class education in order to achieve their full potential. Aligned to the Children and Young People's Plan 2020 to 24, our vision for education in North Tyneside is making North Tyneside an even greater place for children and young people to thrive, where all can access a high-class education with a culture of inclusion and achievement. This builds upon our strategic vision as set out in our North Tyneside plan and the Children and Young People's Plan for the borough. It is also based upon a detailed evaluation of our successes in comparison to the national picture, and is mindful of the challenges that we continue to face, and feedback from young children, young people and families about what is important to them. By 2024, our success will be seen within our children and young people. They will be both physically and mentally healthier. They will be able to access quality education, employment or training. Our schools, colleges and training providers will be enhanced to support those who need more help to thrive, and our partnerships will be strengthened. North Tyneside has a strong tradition of partnership working, We have a well-founded family of schools and wider networks, including early years providers, further education and higher education providers, and local business. This provides an excellent foundation to build upon. Our purpose and ambition are to strengthen this further, to make the standard of education in this borough exceptional and nationally recognised as such. We are not complacent, and we acknowledge the lasting impact of COVID-19 on our children and young people. In North Tyneside, schools and partners have worked tirelessly in these extremely challenging circumstances to continue to provide the best possible education for our children and young people and to mitigate against the impact. This resilience will form a solid foundation to build upon our previous successes. It is through the lens of the most vulnerable children and young people that we will realise our ambitions fully. Diminishing any differences in outcomes and aspirations will be a key to our success. As a partner within the North of Tyne Combined Authority, our strategy dovetails with a wider ambition to develop an inclusive economy and a shared school improvement strategy with our partners from Newcastle and Northumberland. The ambition for education has been through a process of extensive consultation. School leaders have been fully involved in the consultation process. Therefore, I would ask that Cabinet approve the recommendation as set out in section 1.2 of the report. Thank you.
Have we any questions for Councillor Early? Any comments? Well, I certainly welcome this report, Councillor Early, and I think it's important to remind ourselves what a difficult time our young people have had this past few years, to be quite honest. And it is important to us to provide the best possible opportunities to help them grow and develop, because they're our future. And it is important, as far as I'm concerned, to be quite honest, how do we actually get our young people back into education? We need to be thinking and planning now how best to do it, and we need that support from the government, to be quite honest. We need to be ready to actually deliver as soon as we can, but there's a lot of planning to take place as well. So hopefully the government will give us some guidance very, very shortly, and we can plan to help those young people who deserve that support, to be quite honest. As you agree, they are our future. Can we therefore agree that report then, and the recommendations?
Agreed.
Thank you so much. We're now on to item 10, North Shields Town Centre and Fishkey Master Plan, and that's Councillor Pickard.
Thank you, Mayor. We've been through the introduction of out-of-town supermarkets, the creation of the retail parks, all of which have challenged the long-term viability of our retail offer and completely changed our town centres. But perhaps our greatest challenge is that prior to the COVID lockdown, the technology wave of online shopping and click and connect was starting to take root. This, of course, has now expanded rapidly, and after the COVID epidemic is over, there'll be no going back. All of this has had a dramatic effect on North Shields Town Centre. These changes will not go away, so we actually need to plan for how we move forward for the future, how we look for the sustainability of our town centres by coming to terms with these challenges and ensuring that the trading conditions can be met so that we appeal to the next generation of our town centres. We need to strike a balance between existing users while repeating and appealing to our future users. As we move towards tackling the effects of climate change, our town centres need to have a good public transport networks. These need to be integrated to provide easy and convenient interchanges, but public transport needs to be comfortable, affordable, and above all, provide a safe environment for our residents. Our town centres will not revive by retail alone. We must improve our public realms so that it's appealing and well maintained. We must also recognise that we do not benefit from a year-round continental climate, and as such, although we do need to capture the rare fine weather days, we also need to recognise a lot of the time is wet and windy and unappealing for outside activities, both cultural and commercial. And as such, we need to provide more covered space within our town centres. Our response to this was to bring a report to Cabinet in April 2019, proposing the regeneration of North Shields Town Centre and the Fish Quay as a regeneration priority for the Council. The report outlined an ambition for North Shields and the Fish Quay, and the policy objective contained in the report were a smaller but more vibrant, connected, high-quality town centre, a connected and vibrant fish quay, better transport flows and connectivity, and a better quality built environment. In March 2019, the North of Tyne Combined Authority awarded 200,000 of funding for the authority to refine a master plan for the town centre and fish quay. In August 2020, the Cabinet agreed the draft master plan be used as a basis for consultation with residents and businesses and stakeholders over the summer and autumn of 2020. The consultation engagement concluded in October 2020. Cabinet are now asked to agree a final version of the master plan, which has been subject to minor modifications, which will be used as a framework for the regeneration of North Shields Town Centre and the fish quay. Cabinet are also asked to grant delegated authority to enable the schemes including the master plan to be brought forward. The master plan enshrines the Cabinet policy objectives to create a smaller, more vibrant, better connected town centre. It seeks to combine living with working and retail in a place that becomes a family-friendly destination in its own right, a place to relax and socialise. It also looks to promote the town centre as connected to an increasingly vibrant fish quay. These objectives are underpinned by the better transport flows, stronger infrastructure and higher quality built environment. As a listening authority, the views of the residents, businesses and other interested parties have been sought to help the authority shape its thinking. Prior to the production of the final version of the master plan, ahead of formal consultation taking place, there were a series of discussions with external partners and interests to test our thinking and our understanding. As part of the formal consultation, we sent a master plan brochure to every residential property and business within the master plan area, and people were able to comment through a variety of media, including social, as well as bespoke digital engagement platform. The master plan was also published on the authority's website, along with a dedicated page and ambition for North Shields. Details of the consultation are set out in the report, but overall, the consultation responses were broadly positive and generally gave support to the proposals contained in the master plan. Since August, we have continued to refine the master plan to ensure it gives the best place-making outcomes while providing value for money for the public purse. A new opportunity was presented when the Co-op store located on Bedford Street was placed on the market for sale following the decision of the Co-op to withdraw from the town centre. This has provided us with an opportunity to review how we deliver the transport interchange and the new town square. By acquiring and demolishing the Co-op and associated units, we'll be able to develop the transport interchange together with a new town square. The revised approach would avoid significant property acquisitions and business relocation costs, as well as avoiding the potential need for compulsory purchase orders. It also removes significant costs and risks associated with the demolition of properties which are located above the Metro Tunnel. Importantly, it will enable the development to be brought forward sooner, making savings and about 18 months early in delivery time. This will deliver the same outcomes for the town centre, but at significantly lower cost to the public purse in a shorter time scale than previously proposed. This approach to retain these properties at Railway Terrace coincidentally aligns with some of the comments we received in consultation. Subject to Cabinet agreeing the recommendations set out in the report, our next steps will be including the refining and delivery plan for the master plan, which has set out the timings and funding for the projects contained in the master plan, progress the delivery of those schemes contained in the master plan, which funding has been secured, and secure external funding for those elements of the master plan which funding is not currently in place. And I must say at this stage, the officers have already been incredibly successful in securing external funding. I would therefore ask colleagues to note the progress that has been made since the master plan was last considered in August, and to agree the final version of the master plan as a framework for the regeneration of the town centre and fish quay. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Pickard. Have we got any questions for Councillor Pickard? Have we got any comments then? Yes, Councillor Glinton.
Yeah, I'd just like to say they're exciting new plans. You know, and I just can't wait for them to go ahead. Yes. I've been involved a little bit on the committee, and I just can't wait to see the outcome in a future date.
Thank you, Councillor Glendon. Councillor Cox.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'd just like to echo those sentiments. I think it's a great plan, and it puts a long-term ambition for the North Shields and Fish Quay area, and it's nice to see that we're we're tackling some of those long-term issues around sort of people going digital shopping now rather than town centre shopping, and we're looking at making a new opportunity for people. So I'd just like to welcome it. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Cox. Anyone else want to comment? Okay, well, first of all, I want to thank Councillor Pickard, who led with the officers on this, and I know you consulted with lots of partners and lots of residents, but it is an exciting journey you've taken, and it looks really exciting to deliver, to be quite honest. And I just have to say that I don't care who they are in this borough, everyone is entitled to a decent house to live in. They're also entitled to live in a decent environment, to be quite honest. And I think that's what you're trying to achieve in this plan, as well as bringing jobs and change town centres. And despite these difficult times, you brought in money as well to make this happen. And I just want to say that despite the difficult times here, we, along with our officers in North Tyneside, continue to strive and work towards a better place for everyone, to be quite honest, right across the borough. And we will continue to do this. Doesn't matter how difficult it is, it's still on our agenda to make North Tyneside a great place to live, work and visit. And we will cope with the other things because we work together on this. And I just want to say it looks really exciting. And wouldn't it be nice to see some of those places that have been eyesores for some time down in North Shields to actually make more pleasant for the people who live there and the people who want to visit the town centre. So thanks very much. It's much appreciated. And I think it's great news for the borough. Thank you so much. And can we now ask...
Redfern?
Yes.
If I may, Councillor Gary Bell and Councillor Carl Johnson both have their hands raised.
Well, I'm sorry, but I apologise, but it didn't come up on my screen. But that's great. So who was first, Councillor Roberts?
Councillor Gary Bell.
Councillor Gary Bell. Off you go, Gary. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Bryn. Yeah, I wrote on this report and the work everyone's printed with. I see North Shields changing because of COVID as well. Commercial properties will not be the same. And I go to the Tenant Market quite a bit and speak to the storeholders there. There's about 200 on Saturdays and Sundays, and there's a waiting list. I think it's a great opportunity for North Shields to get an identity. We've worked with landlords getting pop-up shops, getting artisan sort of feel to the area with the fish quay as well, and Northumberland Square being renovated. So I think if we can work with the landlords and get these pop-up shops and get some artisans in, I think it could be a really exciting place. Just have a look at a place like Armel, who's transformed itself over the last few years. So thank you very much for everybody.
Thank you, Councillor Bell. And who was the other one?
Councillor Carl Johnson, Chair.
It was me, no one. Yeah. Thanks, Mayor. Absolutely, support this plan is absolutely fantastic. One of the big things since I've been in the cabinet that people come to me with has always been the flow of public transport around North Shields Town Centre. It's confusing, it's all over the place, it's a bit strange. The cash that we've managed to get for the interchange will change us and make us better for everyone that gets North Shields on public transport, which is North Shields is still one of the places where bus and metro are very, very popular in terms of getting to North Shields for. The flows between the fish quay and the town centre are absolutely vital. They feel very disconnected at the moment. This plan brings to life, and you can see them working together with one another. The ferry landing moving is a massive project for us as well. It gives it a gateway to North Shields fish quay as opposed to having to come through people's houses as we do at the moment. Absolutely would be a fantastic scheme. But also the active travel around North Shields and the gateways into North Shields, as well as Tanner's Bank project, are all fantastic transport projects, and we look forward to these coming parts. So it's absolutely fantastic to see.
Thank you, Councillor Johnson. Well, it's obviously everybody's pleased with this and delighted. We look forward to it being delivered, to be quite honest. And once again, a special thank you to Councillor Pickard for leading on this and bringing everyone together to actually make sure that this plan will go ahead and bringing the funding in as well. So thank you very much indeed. Now then, can we approve the recommendations in this report?
Great.
Thank you very much. Well, that does conclude today's Cabinet meeting. And first of all, I'd like to thank you all for your attendance. And thank you to any members of the public who's been watching the live stream. Now, the next Cabinet meetings will take place at 6 o'clock on Monday, the 1st of February 2021. That's an extraordinary meeting to consider the Cabinet's final budget proposals for 2021 to 22. Then there's a meeting on Monday, the 8th of February of 2021. That's an extraordinary meeting to consider Cabinet's response to any recommendations that will overview and scrutiny following their review of the final budget proposals. And then on Monday, the 22nd of February 2021, there's an ordinary meeting. And of course, details will be posted on the Council's website in due course. Thank you all for attending. And of course, remember to stay safe. It's most important. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you. And could the Cabinet stay behind, please? Thank you.
Thank you.